In the world of muscle cars, we often celebrate the icons, the legends that define an era of power and performance. But what about the other side of the story? Today we're revving up for a ride through history's darker alleys to uncover the top 20 worst American muscle cars ever to hit the asphalt. These are the models that promised thunder but barely managed a rumble, the cars that aimed for glory but ended up as cautionary tales. Join us as we explore how even the mightiest can miss the mark in the high-stakes world of American muscle. So, fasten your seatbelts and prepare for a journey that proves not all that glitters under the hood is gold. Let's kickstart this engine of truth with our first contender, AMC Gremlin X 1970. Starting off our journey through the hall of automotive infamy is the AMC Gremlin X, introduced on April Fool's Day in 1970. Perhaps an early indicator of its future reputation. This car broke the mold with its two-seater base model, featuring a lack of backseat and a fixed rear window, a decision that still puzzles car enthusiasts today. Under its hood lay a choice between a 199 Q-in i6 engine producing 128 HP and an optional 304 Q-in V8 barely pushing 152 HP. Despite these options, its performance was underwhelming, with a top speed barely hitting 100 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 time that would have you waiting for 12 to 15 seconds. But it wasn't just the sluggish performance that landed the Gremlin X on our list. It was also its jarring design, described by some as looking like it was hit by a train, coupled with cheap construction and a ride quality that left much to be desired. Despite its initial success, driven by affordability and fuel efficiency, the Gremlin's legacy remains tarnished by its rough ride, poor handling, and a design that's hard to forget for all the wrong reasons. It's a stark reminder that not all attempts at innovation or humor, intentional or otherwise, pay off in the car industry. Ford Mustang II King Cobra. In 1978, the Ford Mustang II King Cobra aimed to inject venom into the muscle car scene, targeting rivals like the Pontiac Trans Am with its aggressive styling, complete with a distinctive hood scoop and spoiler. Despite its ferocious name, the King Cobra packed a 2.3L turbocharged i4 engine mustering only 134 HP, which resulted in a less than stellar top speed of 100 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 time of 8.2 seconds. Far from meeting muscle car standards, especially against the likes of Chevrolet Camaro and Pontiac Firebird, the King Cobra's performance was underwhelming. Its handling didn't help either, lacking the sharpness expected from a Mustang due to its departure from the classic Mustang design and smaller size. This iteration of the Mustang, particularly the King Cobra, couldn't escape the shadow of its iconic predecessors, nor could it fend off the advancements of later Mustang generations, ultimately making it a forgettable chapter in the saga of America's beloved pony car. Chevrolet Vega GT. In 1971, the Chevrolet Vega zoomed into the market, named after the dazzling Vega star constellation, with ambitions to outshine Japanese sports cars. It featured a lightweight aluminum engine block, a novel approach aimed at enhancing fuel efficiency, a rarity among its muscle car peers. However, equipped with a 2.3L L4 i4 OHV engine delivering a mere 90 HP, later bumped to 96 HP, its performance was anything but stellar, clocking a sluggish 0 to 60 miles per hour in 14 seconds, with a top speed of 100 miles per hour. Regrettably, the Vega's journey was marred by a slew of issues: underwhelming power, notorious of overheating, oil leaks, and even engine fires due to the design flaws and lackluster quality control. Rust devoured its thin, uncoated steel frame, while safety ratings plummeted due to its fragile structure and inadequate braking system. Set against the backdrop of the oil crisis of the 1970s and overshadowed by more formidable and reliable muscle cars like the Ford Mustang and Dodge Challenger, the Vega's light dimmed quickly, making it a cautionary tale of ambition eclipsed by reality. AMC Matador 1971. The AMC Matador machine of 1971 was AMC's high-octane twist on the regular Matador Coupe, boasting the lineup's largest and most potent V8 engine, a 401 cubic inch behemoth cranking out 330 horsepower. This powerhouse could blast from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just about 7.5 seconds, with a top speed nudging 130 miles per hour. Yet, despite its machine moniker, AMC shied away from marketing this beast as a muscle car, wary of soaring insurance costs, leaving it in a peculiar limbo. Its rarity, with production numbers whispered to be between 40 to 60 units, has made the Matador machine an enigmatic figure in muscle car lore, lacking the widespread acclaim of its peers. Ford Thunderbird, mid-1970s. The 1973 Ford Thunderbird embarked on an ambitious transformation, morphing into a personal luxury car with a Landau Coupe format, a far cry from its previous generation sportier two-door iterations. Despite being honored as the pace car from the 1974 Indianapolis 500, this version marked a departure from the Thunderbird's two-seater legacy, adopting a more grandiose four-door design complete with a Landau roof and upper windows, a nod to the era's luxury trend but at the cost of rear passenger comfort. Under the hood, it boasted a standard 460 QN V8 engine delivering 220 horsepower, with optional engines promising more grunt but at the expense of fuel economy. The Thunderbird's performance, with an estimated top speed of 114 miles per hour and leisurely 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 10.5 seconds, was hindered by its bulk, struggling against the era's leaner and meaner muscle cars. This shift towards opulence resulted in a vehicle that was sluggish and thirsty, particularly in an era of rising fuel prices. Handling was compromised by a soft suspension that leaned more towards a floaty ride than precision driving. Chevrolet Citation X11. In 1980, Chevrolet attempted to spice up the compact car scene with the introduction of the Citation X11, aiming to infuse the often criticized blandness of the Citation with a dose of sportiness. Despite its ambitions, the X11, which featured a 2.8 LV6 and later a turbocharged version of the same engine, managed horsepower figures that hovered around the 135 to 140 HP mark. This effort resulted in modest performance improvements, with 0 to 60 miles per hour times that were slightly better than the standard Citation but still fell short of muscle car thrills, peaking at an estimated top speed of just over 103 miles per hour. The X11's attempt at sportiness included stiffer suspension and wider tires, yet its front-wheel drive layout couldn't shake off the understeer and sluggish handling that plagued its performance credentials. Beyond handling woes, the X11 was also bogged down by the Citation platform's notorious reliability issues, ranging from electrical problems to rust and mechanical failures, which did little to help its reputation. By 1984, the X11's production halted, and it swiftly drifted into obscurity, unable to leave a lasting impact or redefine the muscle car genre. Pontiac Astre Little White Track. In 1975, the Pontiac Astre tried to flex its muscles with a Little White Track package, a dealer-installed appearance upgrade that aimed for a brawnier look without beefing up the performance. Featuring bold decals and wider fender flares, this package attempted to inject some muscle car swagger into the Astra, which carried the same engines as its standard version, a 140 QN 4-cylinder with 78 HP or a 160 QN 6-cylinder with 98 HP. Despite these attempts, the Astra's performance remained underwhelming, with a top speed around 90 miles per hour and a sluggish 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 14 to 15 seconds. The Little White Track moniker implied a more robust stance, yet the package fell short of enhancing either the car's track width or its suspension, leaving much to be desired in terms of handling and performance improvements. The aesthetic additions, rather than elevating the Astra's appeal, were criticized for appearing out of sync with the car's fundamental design, leading to unflattering labels like Poser Mobile. Its brief existence underscored the Astra's struggle to carve out a niche for itself in a market dominated by genuine muscle powerhouse like the Chevrolet Camaro and Ford Mustang, ultimately rendering the Little White Track a forgotten experiment in muscle car mimicry. Dodge Aspen RT 1976. The Dodge Aspen RT, launched in 1976 as a performance-oriented trim of the Dodge Aspen Coupe, sought to challenge pony car stalwarts like the Ford Mustang and Chevrolet Camaro. With the RT badge signifying road track, this trim introduced an optional T-top roof in 1977 for those craving open-air driving, along with a Super Pack option that added aesthetic muscle with spoilers, fender flares, and simulated hood scoops. Under the hood, choices ranged from a standard 225 QN slant 6 engine producing 95 HP to an optional 360 QN V8 with 170 HP. Despite the V8's potential, its performance capped at an estimated top speed of 110 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 10.5 seconds, struggled to compete with its rivals. Mercury Bobcat Runabout. The Mercury Bobcat Runabout, launched in 1974, aimed to bring a sporty flair to the subcompact segment, setting its sights on rivals like the Toyota Corolla and Datsun 510. Among its most friendly features was the Runabout trim's removable T-top roof, a nod to those who prefer their drives with a breeze. With engine options ranging from a base 2.0 Li4 to a more robust 2.8 LV6, Horsepower varied from a modest 82 HP to a slightly more spirited 110 HP, achieving top speeds from 93 miles per hour to 105 miles per hour. Thus, by 1980, the Mercury Bobcat Runabout was relegated to the annals of history, a testament to the challenge of crossing compact utility with muscle car excitement, leaving behind a legacy more curious than celebrated. Plymouth Cricket, 1971. In 1971, Plymouth ventured into the subcompact car market with the Cricket, a vehicle not born of American design, but rather a rebadged British Hillman Avenger. This compact contender promised practically with decent cargo space and foldable rear seats, yet it was powered by modest 1.5L or 1.6L i4 engines that churned out 70 to 85 HP, achieving top speeds of 85 to 90 miles per hour and sluggish 0 to 60 times of 15 to 18 seconds. Despite its attempt to rival the likes of the Ford Pinto and Chevy Vega, the Cricket was bogged down by uninspiring performance, questionable reliability including rust and electrical issues, and an unattractive boxy design. These factors contributed to its poor sales and negative reception, leading to its discontinuation after just 3 years in the market. The Cricket's name, intended to evoke notions of agility and lightness, instead became emblematic of its failure to make a mark in the competitive subcompact segment. Pontiac Sunbird Formula. The Pontiac Sunbird Formula, which hit the scene in 1976, aimed to inject a dose of sportiness into the subcompact Sunbird lineup. While the Formula badge had historically signified high performance within the Pontiac family, its application to the Sunbird was more about looks than under-the-hood muscle. This variant boasted a 3-piece spoiler, bold decals, and a TA steering wheel aiming for a racier aesthetic. Through its production years, the Sunbird Formula was equipped with a variety of engines, from a humble 1.6L i4 offering 85 HP to a slightly more robust 3.0L V6 with 112 HP. Despite these options, the car's performance was deemed underwhelming, with top speeds around 100 miles per hour and 0 to 60 times lagging between 10 to 13 seconds. This lack of power, combined with cheap construction and handling issues such as pronounced understeer, meant the Sunbird Formula fell short of the sporty promise its name implied. The design, despite sporty aspirations, remained largely uninspired, failing to break free from the base Sunbird's body constraints. In a market filled with potent Japanese imports and American muscle, the Sunbird Formula was overshadowed, unable to compete effectively. While it found a niche among those desiring an affordable, sporty-looking ride, the overall consensus was one of disappointment, making the Sunbird Formula a notable letdown in American automotive history. AMC Eagle SX4. Introduced in 1981 within the AMC Eagle lineup, the Eagle SX4 stood out as an early crossover SUV blending hatchback sportiness with four-wheel drive. It even featured a Sundancer convertible option. Engine choices included a 2.5L i4 offering 85 HP and a more potent 4.2L i6 with 110 HP. However, its ambition was marred by sluggish acceleration, especially noticeable with the smaller engine, and handling that felt more truck-like than sporty. Fuel efficiency was lackluster, averaging 15 to 18 mpg, and build quality issues plagued early models. The SX4's distinctive look, combining a hatchback body with lifted suspension, divided opinions and earned it the nickname Frankenstein car. Despite its unique positioning, the SX4 struggled to attract broad audience, leading to its discontinuation after just 3 years, a testament to its limited success in redefining automotive categories. Ford EXP Turbo. The Ford EXP Turbo, launched in 1984 as a peppier counterpart to the standard EXP, was Ford's special vehicle operation SVO's attempt to inject some zest into their lineup. It boasted the distinction of being the first American front-wheel drive car equipped with a turbocharged engine, a 1.6L inline-4 delivering 120 HP. Despite its promising specs, the EXP Turbo's reality was a mix of mild highs and pronounced lows. With a top speed of 112 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 9 seconds, it was faster than its base model but failed to meet the high-performance expectations set by its SVO badge. The car was criticized for its significant turbo lag, which hindered its acceleration and made for a laggy power delivery. Moreover, its attempt at sportiness was compromised by a stiff suspension and short wheelbase, leading to a ride too harsh for the liking of many driving enthusiasts. The design too was considered boxy and lackluster, missing the mark of the era's sport car excitement. Compounded by reliability issues with the turbocharger and other systems, the EXP Turbo saw a short production run, ending in 1986 due to disappointing sales, thus sealing its fate was a well-intentioned but ultimately underwhelming chapter in Ford's performance car history. Chevrolet Cavalier Z24. Launched in 1986, the Chevrolet Cavalier Z24 aimed to bring sportiness to the Cavalier line, with Z24 referencing Chevy's racing legacy. Sporting body cladding, ground effects, and optional spoilers, along with a performance-oriented interior in later models, it offered a range of engines from 2.0 L4 with 88 HP to a more potent 2.8 L V6 achieving up to 150 HP. Despite these efforts, the Z24 was criticized for its lackluster handling, build quality issues such as rust and electrical problems, and design elements deemed tacky by some. Competitors like the Honda Civic Si and Ford Mustang overshadow the Z24 with better handling and more engaging drives. Over time, the Z24's sporty character faded, especially in later models, leading to a reputation that's more infamous than revered, making it as a missed opportunity in Chevrolet's sporty compact segment. Pontiac Sunfire GT. Introduced in 2003, the Pontiac Sunfire GT sought to carry the torch for Pontiac's compact performance, following in the footsteps of the Sunbird and the legendary Firebird. This iteration, exclusive to coupes and even offering a convertible option for those seeking the thrill of open-air driving, was powered by a 2.4L DOHC i4 engine, delivering 150 HP. Despite its promising setup, the Sunfire GT struggled to make its mark, boasting at an estimated top speed of 125 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 8.5 seconds. However, the GT badge couldn't mask its shortcomings. Its performance was often criticized for not living up to the muscle car ethos with sluggish acceleration and lackluster handling. Build quality also took a hit, with the use of low-quality materials diminishing the driving experience. Reliability issues, including electrical and mechanical faults, compounded its woes, making ownership a potentially costly affair. Furthermore, its design failed to inspire, missing the bold and aggressive stance that muscle car enthusiasts crave. Competing in an era filled with more potent and charismatic options, the Sunfire GT found itself overshadowed, unable to stand out as a compelling choice among its muscle car contemporaries. Chrysler TC by Maserati. The Chrysler TC by Maserati, introduced in 1989, marked a distinctive collaboration between Chrysler and Italian sports car market Maserati, intending to blend Italian design with American market appeal. Hand-built in Italy, this luxury coupe featured a turbocharged 2.2L i4 Chrysler engine modified by Maserati, producing 160 HP and boasted a top speed of 130 miles per hour with a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 9.8 seconds. Despite its premium leather interior and removable hardtop, the TC struggled to meet the high expectations set by its ambitious partnership. Critics pointed out its performance, which fell short of muscle car standards and didn't match the prowess associated with a Maserati name. The high price tag was another deterrent, failing to deliver value compared to the other muscle or luxury cars in its price range. Moreover, reliability issues, including electrical and mechanical problems, marred its reputation, distancing it further from the prestige of European luxury brands. The Chrysler TC by Maserati suffered from an identity crisis, caught between two worlds and failing to establish itself firmly in either, leading to its discontinuation after just 3 years. Ford Thunderbird Turbo Coupe, 1980s. Introduced in 1987, the Ford Thunderbird Turbo Coupe was groundbreaking as the first American production car with a turbocharged V6 engine, boasting 200 HP and innovative features like a retractable sunroof and an optional digital instrument cluster. However, its claim to fame was marred by several issues. The car suffered from noticeable turbo lag and weak low-end torque, making its performance feel inconsistent and sluggish for daily driving. The automatic transmission was critiqued for being jerky and unresponsive, while the design's bulky aesthetics and poor visibility further detracted from its appeal. Reliability woes, including frequent electrical system failures and turbocharger issues, compounded its problems. Despite its potential, the Thunderbird Turbo Coupe was eclipsed by competitors like the Ford Mustang and Chevrolet Camaro, offering more power and better handling. These factors, combined with poor sales, led to its discontinuation after a brief 2-year run, marking it as a disappointing chapter in muscle car history. Chevrolet Monte Carlo Landau, 1970s. Introduced in 1973, the Chevrolet Monte Carlo Landau aimed to rival luxury coupes like the Ford Thunderbird with features such as a Landau roof and plush velour interior. Despite its luxury aspirations and a powerful 400 cubic inch V8 engine option, the Monte Carlo Landau struggled with performance. Weighed down by its bulk, it managed 0 to 60 miles per hour in a sluggish 9 to 11 seconds, disappointing for muscle car enthusiasts. Fuel efficiency was poor, exacerbated by heavy engines and the era's emission regulations. Handling suffered from significant body roll and poor cornering due to its soft suspension and hefty build. Build quality issues including ship interior materials and assembly flaws further marred its reputation. By the late 1970s, its large boxy design fell out of favor amid rising fuel efficiency demands, cementing its status as one of the era's less revered models. Dodge Charger SE, mid-1970s. Launched in 1975, the Dodge Charger SE Special Edition sought to offer an affordable entry into the muscle car market, but it fell short of expectations. Positioned as a base model, it came with a standard 225 CI Slant 6 engine producing just 100 HP or an optional 318 CI V8 that only offered 145 HP, significantly detuned for emissions and fuel economy. With a top speed of around 100 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 time of 12 seconds for the V8, the SE's performance was underwhelming, especially when compared to the iconic Charger models of the past. The Charger SE's design strayed from the classic fastback look, adopting a more generic, boxy appearance that lacked the muscle car signature excitement and aggression. The absence of performance-oriented features such as drum brakes and a basic vinyl interior further diluted its appeal. Oldsmobile Cutlass Salon Brougham. Launched in 1976, the Oldsmobile Cutlass Salon Brougham aimed to blend luxury with the Cutlass Supreme's legacy, its Brougham badge signifying opulence. It featured velour seating, quad headlights, and a waterfall grille, powered by engine options ranging from a 350 in V8 to a 231 in V6, achieving 140 to 210 HP. However, despite top speeds of 100 to 110 miles per hour and 0 to 60 times of 9 to 12 seconds, it struggled with performance. Emissions regulations and the car's weight led to sluggish acceleration and poor fuel economy. Handling was compromised by its size and soft suspension, resulting in floaty driving and imprecise steering. Additionally, the Brougham was plagued by rust, electrical problems, and quickly deteriorating interior quality. As we close the hood on our journey through some of the automotive world's more forgettable moments, it's clear that not every attempt at muscle or luxury hits the mark. If you've enjoyed this ride down memory lane and are curious about what other automotive tales we have under the tarp, make sure to fuel up your interest by subscribing to our channel. Gear up for more deep dives and unexpected detours in the world of cars.